All right, it's been a while since I've been here, hasn't it? Well, hello again. The last time you saw me here was when we was discovering Bring Me the Horizons discography. Not long before, um, you know, I'd abandoned the channel and I'd listened to the rest of it off camera, which I apologise for. I was gonna watch and react to Amor and Posthuman, but I ended up doing them in my own time because I ended up moving and I'm now living as a free birdie. Free as it gets when you have a partner, but as free as it gets, basically. I am independent now. I don't live with my parents anymore and whatnot. So there's been some changes, and during that time, I listened to Amon and Kingslayer alone. And I've since gone to see Bring Me the Horizon live, and they are fucking incredible. And I was gonna also do a lot of reactions to artists such as Bad Omens because I saw them live as well, and they were fantastic live. But of course, I've discovered them, a bit late. Unfortunately, I heard them live before I really heard them on albums and whatnot. And it's encouraged me to see their albums, and they quickly become one of my favourite bands and whatnot. This time around I figured we'd go to Architects, which is a band that I don't know very much about. I know who Sam Carter is, being the lead singer, but the only other things I really know about Architects are some of their more recent works, such as For Those That Wish to Exist and The Classic Symptoms of a Broken Spirit, along with new singles such as Seeing Red and Curse, which are very good, by the way. The only really old stuff I know from Architects, technically speaking, is tracks like Doomsday and Black Blood, which I believe is from Daybreaker, but I'm not too sure. So I figured, fuck it, we'll rewind ourselves and we'll do all of Architects, including the albums I already know, because it's been a hot minute since I've actually heard them from start to finish. I was going to do Slipknot as well, but that's also what I've done in my free time. Slipknot being my favourite band. It's been a while since I listened to every album in full, back to back to back to back back. But I did that in my free time. The only one I didn't do was the End So Far, which being their most recent record, so I might do that one, but we'll see. All I'll say is before we begin, the Bring Me the Horizon series did really well, and I'd like to thank everyone for that. Considering it's a small little music reaction channel as it stands currently anyway, and I have no idea what I'm going to be doing with my main channel now that I'm not doing football content anymore. I might be active here more than often, so hopefully you'll enjoy that. But I'm excited to expand my music taste a little bit more when it comes to these bands that I should really know more about. Of course, I'm not going to be listening to like Travis Scott or all these other artists because it's just not a genre I enjoy. But as far as things go, we're going to explore artists I already know, but want to know more about before we start diving deep into some of the new stuff that we should know. So we'll start with, of course, like I said, Architects' first album, Nightmares, which I don't know anything about. I didn't even know it existed. I thought their first album was Hollow Crown. I don't know what to expect here. I know it's only a small album in comparison to the rest. It's 8 tracks long, half an hour long, and the first 5 minutes of this has been me rambling, so let's just get started, shall we? Okay. Right, so straight away I know exactly what I'm getting myself into. This is going to be another Count Your Blessings situation. Okay. My mind is now open. Okay, that's an interesting change. Oh. Ooh, that's a nice guitar. I like that. Well, that was very interesting. I wasn't expecting anything magnificent from someone's first album, so to speak, especially when it's very obscure, because I never hear anyone talk about Nightmares. But um, I didn't expect a Count Your Blessings kind of vibe from this, I'm not going to lie. But then again, based on the Bring Me the Horizon songs I heard before I went to Count Your Blessings, which were songs like Throne and Shadow Moses, Sempiternal, that's a spirit kind of songs with the odd Posthuman and Amor song, but when I went to Count Your Blessings, it was a shock. I was like, oh, okay, I didn't expect this. I wouldn't have predicted Architects would start out the same way. But I mean, fair enough. Interesting start. This song is 5 minutes long. Good lord. All right, continuing on then. Track 2. You don't walk away from dismemberment. Yeah, based on the lyrics I'm already reading, there's not going to be many lyrics. It's just going to be mainly crash, crash, boom, 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 rash, 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 splash, 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 splash. Yeah, pretty much what I expected. That was a really nice guitar in the background then. Interesting little quiet part. Interesting. Oh. That was a very nice guitar solo to round the song off. I suppose in hindsight, now, listening to this anyways, it makes more sense why Sam Carter was a feature on that one old school Bring Me song. I can't remember if it was Suicide Season or There Is a Hell. I'm pretty sure it was Suicide Season. But it's starting to make a little bit more sense now because these albums released in a similar time frame. Well, similar-ish period of time, let's say. Yeah, interesting. It's still not my kind of genre. This more like thrashy sounding genre. I saw a comment which was quite interesting on my, I think it was my Sempiternal That's the Spirit reaction, where people said, I think it was my Sempiternal reaction, where someone said that they don't understand what my taste in music is because they go from saying, I went from saying that I didn't like most of their old stuff, not being, you know, like this or that, and then whatever I said I didn't like about the last songs, I praised Sempiternal for, which I can understand why there's a bit of confusion there, but the main difference is with Sempiternal, it was obviously, it's just the metalcore aspect of it, you know, it just generally felt better produced, it felt richer in its sound, more high quality in its sound, better produced, like I said. Yeah, and obviously, you know, the emphasis on cleaner vocals and better screams, you know, rather than, you know, spit slurring, as I call it. So yeah, that's kind of why, I guess, you know, if Architects can go down a similar path to Bring Me as we explore them a bit more, then it's going to be the same approach where I'm going to listen to a few songs that are like this and I'm going to be like, oh, it's not my thing, and then we're going to get to the newer stuff and I'm going to be like, I like this. But yeah, that was interesting. The guitars that went off in the background of this song were actually quite nice, but as for the song itself, I don't have much to say, so let's just move on to the next one. Oh, this is interesting. The last minute or so of that song was probably the best part of the song, and in general, I thought it was actually quite nice. Got a bit of movement out of me. That's probably the best song so far. How many tracks are there? 5? Or is it 8? Yeah, no, it's 8. We're 3 in. And that is the best one so far, in my opinion, Minesweeper. Hopefully they carry on a bit more like that. Of course, the start of the song was nothing special, but then as it got to the last minute and half or so, like I just said, I actually quite enjoyed that. That felt, it felt quite nice. So let's see what the next song's got to say. Hell of a lyric. That was a strange little clean vocal part, but I guess it was welcome. That was a odd ending to the song. That was a strange one. It started as you'd expect, but then when those clean vocals came out of nowhere, I thought, "What? That's very strange." In the way they were done as well. It's not bad by any means. It's just, again, it's just not more or less my thing. So it's still interesting to hear, though. This is what they sounded like way back when. So let's keep rolling. Oh, and this one actually has a transition into the next song as well, which is nice. 4 lines of lyrics. That's beautiful. Art. Oh, this is different. This is quite a mellow, tranquil, in-between phase. This is strange. I like it. I'm getting video game vibes for whatever reason. It just sounds like this could be like loading screen music or something. It's weird. Or that it'd be used as like a wrestler's entrance or some shit. Weird. What a very strange intermission that was. It doesn't even sound like it belongs on the same album. That is very strange, but it was a very relaxing piece, put it that way. If anything, I was hoping it was going to transition into the next song with the way the guitar were kicking in at the end, but fair enough. Yeah, that I don't know. That gave me like soundtrack vibes more than anything then, but fair enough. It was interesting to say the least, but yeah. I've got no words for that one. It's nice. I wouldn't really say it's the best song so far. I'd still give that one to Minesweeper, but yeah, it was fucking. This confession means nothing. It was a very strange little piece, but let's carry on. Again with a strange interlude of Clean. Another one of those tracks where the first half of it doesn't really captivate me in any sort of way, but when they get more, well, not experimental, but when those guitars, like the guitar focused melodies in the background come back in, and the vocals slow down a little bit and whatnot, and the drums get a little bit more, not they get less thrashy and more melodic. It's like that's when this album so far has been at its best, when it takes its attention away from the thrash metal and goes into more. It's not metalcore, but it's like it's probably still thrash metal, but it's less intense. You know what I mean? It dips into just more of a casual side of things, and that's when it gets to its best. So far, it's not a terrible album. It's just half the track is good, the other half of it is not for me. But yeah, interesting. Let's keep going. Yeah, that one didn't really do anything for me, I'm not gonna lie. This is the problem that I'm having with this album so far. Where it excels, like I said earlier, it does excel quite well, and I'm feeling it a bit more, but it's not very often it's doing that. And in a majority of the things that it is doing, whether that not be the obviously just the fucking vocals itself or the instrumental being incredibly repetitive, it's mainly the biggest fucking offender for me so far is the lyrics. Now, fair enough, I can't follow along very well when they're not synced or even written in full here, but at the same time, it's like they don't really do anything for me. They're not very intelligently written lyrics. It's literally, they just sound really angsty and edgy lyrics. But we made it this far, no turning back. The Darkest Tomb, the last song on the album. Let's see what this one has to offer for us. Now we're back to a sound that I can groove with a little bit more. And that's your lot. Okay, that was a very interesting experience, to put it that way, with Nightmares. Based on the obviously the plays here compared to what Architects get these days, it's of course quite obscure. I'm gonna imagine not most people know about this. I'm gonna imagine not most Architects fans know about this, unless they're obviously of the most hardcore. But it was an interesting experience, put it that way. That in this album, I can see potential in where they went with this direction going forward, but I also don't, because I don't know fuck all about the next couple albums. But yeah, like I said, it's interesting because there are elements in this album that I listen to and I'm like, oh, I really enjoyed that, such as the more melodic guitars, the massive guitar solos, the occasional clean vocal and whatnot. But yeah, I think Minesweeper was probably my favourite on the album. It still isn't anything that I'd listen to frequently, but it's my personal favourite on this. But yeah, I suppose it was relatively appropriate. This album's approaching being what, fucking 18 years old now. So, for their debut compared to where they are now with their most recent release, Curse, it's a considerable difference. And they've taken steps to go forward that obviously I know a lot of old school Architects fans do not enjoy. Like my friends that are big Architects fans do not like anything. Well, it's not that they don't like it, they just prefer the old stuff, compared to, for those that wish to exist going forward, they prefer everything before that. Much like how with a majority of people, there are the people that will die on the hill that Bring Me the Horizon's last good album was Sempiternal, or even before that. But or even people say that Slipknot haven't been good since Iowa or Volume 3, maybe even A Hope Has Gone, etc. But it's just down to personal preference with a lot of these albums and sounds and whatnot. But no, like I said, it's nice to be educated on where they're getting from. That's the whole reason I listen to this album rather than Hollow Crown, which whether or not I'm going to follow up with Hollow Crown, I don't know. I'd like to have input instead and be told what to listen to, because rather than just picking an artist and listening to their entire discography from front to back, it's going to be like, I don't know, it might get boring. I don't know. So, whenever people watch these, I want suggestions on what to listen to next, albums wise, obviously not singles. If there are singles that have come out that are new from artists that you think I'm going to enjoy, whether or not that be, like if a new Architects or Bring Me song comes out, Slipknot are rumoured to put out a new song soon enough. I know Pierce the Veil's just released a Radiohead cover, which I'm probably not going to react to. But just along those lines. So if any like new singles come out that I'm interested in, I will cover. If not, tell me, and then albums wise, I'll also do albums. If I've already heard the album, then I'll say that I've heard this, I'm not listening to it. Or if I've not heard it for a long time and I want my memory refreshed, then I might do. But feel free, drop suggestions. But for now, I'll sign off. If you've had any experience with this album before, let me know what that was like for you, or if this was your first time too. And yeah, we'll see what we listen to next time.